Bransboynd, good morning, and hopefully you're having a great start to your weekend. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Storm Studios with a look at your forecast for our Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri coverage areas. Let's get started. Here's a look at the forecasted highs for this afternoon. It's going to be a little bit warmer in many locations, right around the lower to the mid-90s, close in the River Valley. Some areas may actually squeeze out into the mid-90s by the time we get later on into this afternoon. And then 90s pretty much area-wide throughout Oklahoma, upper 80s, maybe some lower 90s, southwest Missouri into northeast Oklahoma. Yesterday evening, we saw some powerful storms over some of our far western counties and even into portions of northeast Oklahoma. Some areas saw some additional showers and storms overnight. Let's take a look at what we've got for the remainder of this morning here with Future Scan here in just a second, because we got some more rain chances on the way. But before we get to that, here's a look at the Foghorns morning fog outlook, and this is brought to you by Foghorns. They're located in Fayetteville and in Springdale. Huge shout out to them. Thankful to have them as an official sponsor here at the Weather 225 Media Network, and so grateful to have them on the channel and everything along those lines. So be sure to support them like they support us. Check them out, Fayetteville and in Springdale. That's Foghorns, an Arkansas original since 2004. Here's a look at the Foghorns morning fog outlook. A couple areas may see some patchy fog in parts of the River Valley, maybe further into Oklahoma as well, but we're not expecting widespread fog tonight, thanks to some of that rain coverage that we've been seeing across the area. Now, here's a look at what we got with the Future Scan radar, and here's a look right around early morning through at least the mid to late morning into the afternoon. Throughout the morning, some of us will see some shower and thunderstorm activity. Models haven't been too great with the coverage. They've been they've done a pretty terrible job with the activity. The timing's been pretty good, so I will say at least the timing is looking fairly reasonable that this activity should be out of our neck of the woods pretty much by the time we get to later this afternoon. But we've got some activity in the morning, maybe some additional activity in parts of the afternoon. Later in the day, maybe into the evening, we should see some of those things wrap up. So overall, this is going to be the last day that we see at least scattered rain and thunderstorm potential before we start to move on to a more summer-like pattern. The other headline that we've got is by the time we get into Monday and continuing throughout early next week, we've got some Saharan dust that's going to be moving in. Unfortunately for our neck of the woods, we've got potentially unhealthy air quality that will be on the way associated with the Saharan dust. And so, if you're sensitive to poor air quality, if you have any sort of respiratory issues like myself, if you have asthma, anything along those lines, this is a quick heads up for you that we're going to be running into some issues. So that being said, just keep an eye on the Saharan dust as we head into early next week. This is your heads up that it's on the way. We'll let you know the very latest as we get closer to early next week. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast that we've got, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Again, today's rain chances are way lower than what they've been in recent days, and even better news, no rain chances. When I saw this forecast, I am excited to get some days to sleep in because we have had nonstop overnight activities. Unfortunately, that's just kind of what we get here in this part of the country. So we've been pretty active and finally starting to see this activity calming down. So that's a look at what we got for Northwest Arkansas. Back in the 90s throughout the remainder of the 7-day forecast. Upper 90s look possible in the River Valley over the next several days. Once we get to about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saharan dust moves in. That's going to help keep the air pretty dry as well. So we're really not talking a whole lot of activity as we head into next week. Maybe a couple showers possible Thursday, Friday, right around 20%. But other than that, things are looking summer-like and dry going forward. Back in the 90s for Tulsa for the remainder of the next 7 days. Same with Northeast Oklahoma. Some of us could be actually seeing some upper 90s across the area there. And then finally, Southwest Missouri, if you've got any sort of plans to get outside or go to Silver Dollar City, anything along those lines, looks like a pretty good week to go out there and enjoy that. But keep in mind, we will have a couple of days where it is going to be warmer with the heat index values. And also, you're going to want to make sure you bring the sunscreen, stuff like that, because we're back into a summer-like pattern. Good news is, finally calming out. We don't have to deal with any sort of widespread strong to severe storm activity or anything like that, at least for the next, foreseeable future. That's a look at what we got there. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to support us, keep our operations going, everything along those lines, be sure to support us. The best ways to do that, if you don't have a business and you're looking for partnership, we have a Venmo. You can actually Venmo us one-time donation or set up monthly, anything along those lines. And the other thing is we have a Patreon where you can do the same thing. And so we're also looking for sponsors for the channel. If you want to sponsor the channel and have a segment kind of like, we showed you a little bit ago with the Foghorns Morning Fog Outlook, we can do graphics. We've got all sorts of cool things we can do. And the reason that we're doing this is because we don't like having pop-up ads on our website. And then eventually when our app comes out, we don't want pop-up ads on the app. We want to support local businesses and we want to promote local businesses. We don't want some random, it's the weird medication ads that pop up online and they're a pain to click off. We don't want that experience on our website. When I go to a website, I don't enjoy that. And we know that you don't enjoy that. So we want to keep our website as user-friendly as possible and promote small businesses. So that's why we're doing things the way that we're doing it. We could make a lot of money doing that by having those pop-up ads, but we don't want that experience for our viewers and everything when they go to the website. So if you want to support us and you want to promote your local business, we do have partnership opportunities. Be sure to not only email us, but you can also call us or text us on our station number and reach out and let us know if you're interested in those opportunities. And we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you have a good one. And have a great rest of your day. There's that, and we have a little TVS there, tornado vortex signature, and that's indicative of some fairly strong rotation. With the latest state-of-the-art equipment, we can call out areas of concern ahead of the warning. And there it is. We called it here first, y'all, and we are able to show you these things in real time, and our tools, you can't beat them. We're able to show you these things as they happen before the warning even occurs. This is coverage you won't find anywhere else. Weather coverage with Joshua Weisel in the Weather 225 Storm Studios. Weather local to you since 2015. If you like our media and forecast, be sure to support us today on Patreon. You can advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015.